All right, Bob's Barn Workshop friends. I'm here at the last minute. We're going to the lake this afternoon, and I have forgotten to do my drawer fronts. So I'm in a panic mode. I'm going to make the drawer fronts and take them with unfinished, and we'll just finish them up there, but I want to cut the size and machine today. So very quickly, I know that the drawer fronts are 12.5 inches wide, so I'm just going to cut a bunch of my 2x8 here, or 1x8, down to 12.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark this one at 12.5, and it doesn't have to be super precise, just as long as they're all cut the same. And I'm going to bring this down, just like that. Put my stop lock. Ain't that going to be pretty as a draw front? I think so. And we got a plain one here, but that's got a long streak in it, but that's alright. I kind of like that. This one's very grainy. That one's got a ding on the edge, so I think this is the one I'm going to cut the portion off to make the other piece wider. I do have to make one of the drawers wider, and that looks like a pretty good match right there. So, and then that one. So we got 1, 2. Yeah, I like that one better than that one. 3 and 4. 4. We gotta have some knots in there, baby. All right. So now we're back to the table saw, and let me clean this welding stuff up and get back on track. All right. Well, my battery was going dead, so what I did, if you guys remember, I made a story pole, which this represents the depth of the hole in my cabinetry, and I know my cabinet how wide it is, so that's not the issue. So what I did is I took each individual drawer box and I marked out, by the way, where my drawer slides were installed in the cabinets, and then I laid them on here like they were going to go in the cabinet. And that gives me a 1/4 inch top. That's the overlap of 3/4 of an inch at the top. And to come to the bottom of this drawer was 6 inches. And then I did the next cabinet from that mark. I gave us a little over a 1/16 of an inch. That's 7.5. And this one is 7 3/16. And that's the full width of the board. So the unsanded part's going to have to go on the bottom. And then the bottom piece needs to be 9 3/4. All right, easy enough. So we're going to cut 6, 6.5, and a full one. So all we really need to do is 6 and 6.5. And then we're going to have to laminate that one, which won't take long. And I'll cut that down to size. And we'll get that done on the table saw here. Carefully, I got the door open, it's so nice. Now I'm going to cut these a smidge wider. Let's see how I like these. Say that's the top. That's the next. I don't want the knots on the same side. Bottom. Should I put this one up here? And kind of alternate them. Like that and that. Then just use this one on the bottom. Does that work for you? I gotta cut a piece off on this and add it on the bottom, like so, which that's just about the right. That's the jointed edge. That's not. I would have to join it like this. Ah, yes, much better. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. These things must be done delicately. All right, well, I'm going to cut that 6-inch one about a 6 1/16, and then we'll trim it down. So, I'm going to measure just because I'm like that. Excuse me. Didn't need to butt in front of you. Yeah, that's not 6 1/16. That's 6 1/2. See why I measured? I'm going to make that 6 1/16. And then we'll plane it down. All right. Alright, so what do we want to add? This there? No. We want to add this there. Yes. Okay, see how that grain almost looks like it? You wouldn't even know, would you? Alright, so. Now let's see, to make sure I measured this right. Yeah, that's 10 inches. We got to plane off a little bit. But I think if we just clamp this up, a little super glue, not super glue, you know what I mean. I got the waterproof stuff here. That'll work. That way if it gets moisture on it, it won't and then we'll smooth her out so it gets full coverage. And the other trick I learned and I read places is don't clamp it too tight, because then you'll just squeeze all your glue out of the joint. So I'm going to glue this up right here on the flat part of my table saw. Did I put that together right? Ooh, look at that. I'm going to do that side. It's got some cooler grain to it. And this will dry within 20 minutes. We could be working on this again. Oops, here comes the ghost. Oh no, this is Muir. See if I can just do it this way. Lower the blade. See, that's all the clamping it needs. We don't need to clamp it to death. I'm just pushing it down even. Knock it. This one seems to be a little thicker than the other piece. But there we go. And I'm just going to let that sit right there flat. And soon that'll be ready. Look at, I left some of this cool stuff in here. The rest of them, all I need to do is run a chamfer around one side. And let's see. Oh, they do need to be. That one needs to be 6, and the next one needs to be 6.5. So I've got to go over to the joiner again. You don't want to watch me. I'm just going to run these through the joiner until they're down to the. Now I think easiest way to set up a router like this with a piece you already have cut is you just turn your router bit around. Oh my gosh, that was such a good guess. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe just a little lower. Oh, look at that. I forgot this router has the adjusting collar like that. That makes it a nice router. Okay. Not too much. We gotta go the other way. I think that's just about right. It'll be close enough and nobody will know the difference anyway. I'm gonna run it on a test piece here. See how it looks, or if we have to adjust it any. Compare it to the other chamfer. So I'm just going to plug right into the table saw circuit here. Are we still rolling, guys? Are we still rolling? Oh, yeah, okay. Going to run this test zip on here. Now, one way to keep your wood from chipping out is to go backwards, and especially if you're going to do end grain. This stupid thing's all twisty. Going across the end grain, you're going to break out when you get to the end. So you always do your edges first, and you start in the middle, not the end, because you might hook the end here. So I'm going to start the router. I'm going to go off the end there. Then I back cut. See, we didn't get any chip outs doing it that way. And I'm going to compare this to my test to see if I'm happy with the depth of the chamfer. And I think it looks perfect compared to the other cabinets. So this guy's ready, and we're just going to do that. I'm sure you don't want to watch all that. I'm going to do one, and then one. I'm going to back cut. And then with the grain. And I'm going to back cut. I can do this hand. And there we go. We have a chamfered drawer front. I'm just going to hit this with the sander. I think I'm just going to use the sander to soften these edges and corners a little bit. I could use the router, but I don't see the need to set it up. So there's one drawer front. and we'll do the rest. All right, the chamfers were all cut, except for the piece we're waiting to dry. But I've hooked up my disc sander here, and we're going to just try to take some of these saw marks out. Caters. Yeah, I got an important phone call about the caterer for our 50th high school reunion. So I put a new piece on here. Oh yeah. Well, there's those three ready to go. I'm just waiting on, look at that, that turned out nice. End grain is always going to be a little rough. It's got a little knockout there, but I really don't care, it's real wood. Then I'm going to place these about that far apart, okay, 1/16 of an inch, maybe a hair more. Let's see how our glue up's doing. I don't want to rush this too much, but they say it only takes 20 minutes. I got to mow the lawn before we go, and we're going pretty soon. I hate to take it apart and blow it, but I think we're good. If it falls apart, I'll soon know, won't I? Yeah, it's still wet back here. Let me clean off my table before that stuff dries. All right, big one's out of the clamps. It's been over an hour. I had some chores to do. Let's see. Remember, I got to cut this down to 9 3/4. All right, last piece, we're going to run the router around. Spread your legs. She's surface sanded. We'll hit her just one more time lightly. don't know why I got that dust collector running. Sorry. Alright. I'm just gonna chamfer these edges a little bit. Ready to go to the lake and be installed. How is that? Isn't that gorgeous? That just looks so good. Got a little bit of a ding right here. Alright guys and gals, that's it until we get to the lake and get these finished and on the cabinets, and then we will show the reveal up there. But these are done. See, those are going to be against the drawer box. So I don't care if there's glue on there, the drawer box is going to be there, it's going to be facing the cabinets. It'll be like that. No one will ever see it. So there's no sense of worrying about it. So that's that. I have to take a couple things to the lake with me. I'm going to take this. I don't need too much else other than screws. Alright, this is what I need to take to the lake along with this. Alright guys, take care, God bless, we'll see you in a little bit.